Hello everyone, it's Echioma Awesu-Adegoke again with Biblical Truths. So today we're going to look at Acts chapter 1 and verse 1. I'll read it in the New International Version. It says, "In my former book, Theophilus, I wrote about all that Jesus began to do and to teach." So here, well, it is assumed that Luke wrote the Acts of Apostles and was telling Theophilus, a lot about some of the things that Jesus had done. The thing in this verse that has always caught my attention is when he says Jesus began both to do and to teach. So that gives me the idea that before Jesus went out into ministry to teach others what to do, Jesus was doing it himself already. Jesus began both to do and then to teach. But for us presently, that order is reversed. Most of us begin to teach and sometimes do not even do. That's why we hear phrases like, "Do as I say, but not as I do." But Jesus, who brought this gospel to us, the Bible says he began both to do. And what were those things he was doing? He said to his disciples, "My mate is to do the work of him that sent me and to finish it." Doing the will of God, Jesus said, was his meat. But a lot of us Christians do not even believe in doing the will of God. We believe in doing what we want to do, what serves our purpose, what makes us happy, rather than the will of God. Doing the will of God is like becoming outdated. It's not fashionable. Why? Because we want to do what is acceptable and what is fashionable. But the person who brought the gospel to us, the Bible says he began both to do. So if you are a preacher, for instance, then you have the greater responsibility to do. A lot of church members, in some cases, of course, there are no absolute rules, in some cases, live contrary to the Christian ethics. Why? Because they do not have the examples of their leaders. They see their pastors preach one thing and then they do something, or rather they hear their pastors preach one thing and they see them do the exact opposite. But Jesus began both to do. So this shows us that we have absolutely no right to preach or teach anything that we are not practicing. If Jesus could do, set the example in doing, before he thought of speaking, before he thought of teaching, before he thought of preaching, then we have no right to teach or preach before we start doing. The book of James, let's see the book of James, James chapter 1 and verse 22. It says, in New International Version again, says, "Do not merely listen to the word and so deceive yourselves. Do what it says." King James, a popular King James, will say, "Be ye doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves." So a lot of times we end up being hearers, we are not doers. Preachers end up preaching, they are not doers. But the expectation from God, going by the life that Jesus lived, is that we begin to do. When we do, That is where the Bible says, so that men may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. So if I'm not doing, there's nothing for men to see. It is the doing that will make men look at me and say, ah, there goes a child of God. Just like the Christians in the apostles, first called Christians in Antioch, they began to do, and it was in the process of doing that the people in Antioch saw them and said, these ones are Christians, these ones are Christ-like. They are doing what Christ did. So the doing is what will draw people to God. The doing is what will testify louder than anything we say. So if Jesus could do before teaching, let's take a key from him. Rather, let's take a cue from him and begin to do even as we teach. God bless you.